and welcome back to Hammond's Upholstery. Fortunately the sun's out today, so it's looking a lot better, a bit warmer in the workshop. So let's have a look at what we've got going on at the moment for you. Right, set dining chairs ready to go back to the customer. Set of cushions ready to go back to the customer. We have some more cushions over here. I'm waiting for the fabric for them. We have this swivel chair, set of dining chairs. So we've got plenty of bits and pieces in. And the job that I'm on with next is this Duresta Howard style sofa. Let's try and get you a better picture of it. It's got the front legs off it at the moment because we needed to take them off to get it into the van. So that's a Duresta sprung edge Howard style sofa, which is actually another Howard sofa underneath there, but that one's mine. So anyway, excuse that. So that's what I'm on with next. The Howard sofa should be quite straightforward. The only thing is I'm going to have to wait for cushion fills because the customer has specified she wants foam and feather fills, so in the seat, and fibre fills in the back, so there's less maintenance involved. Fibre fills aren't better than feather fills, they're just a bit more stable, but they won't last as long or ultimately be as comfortable as feather fills. So everything with cushions, as I've discussed in previous videos, is always a bit of a compromise, so you have to know what you want, and we'll do our best to give you that. But if you want a cushion that's soft, low maintenance, gonna last forever, that gets difficult. So it's all a compromise with cushions. So anyway, I'm waffling. I need to have a sip of my tea, and I need to get on with ripping up this sofa. So you can join me for that. Okay, so I'm sure you can see over my shoulder here we have the sofa ripped up now. All the top cover's been removed from it. The sofa's in really good condition, so there's not really much for me to do other than recover it. I will cover over the foam with some Lux Bond, which you'll see me using. It's just a polyester wadding. Just give it a little bit more of a freshen up, but other than that the sofa's in fantastic condition. The sofa's got what we call a sprung edge on it. Let me turn the camera around and explain a bit more. Right, sprung edge on the sofa. This is the seat. Let's back up so you can see better. So going to the seat, and this is the seat, and it's a sprung edge. See here? So there's a big spring in this seat. I'm not a big fan of sprung edge sofas. I think they're unnecessary and can easily be damaged. If that front edge there collapses, you've got to replace a very expensive spring unit. There's nothing really to be gained over a hard edge other than if somebody sits down heavily on the front edge of the sofa. It's a bit more cushioning. So there you go. So here we have the cushions, or the old cushion fills. The new cushions are on order, so I'm going to cut the covers so we can get them over to the machinist so she can get them done as soon as possible. Nice sprung seat, large serpentine springs in the back, so solid frame. What can I say? It was an expensive sofa, I'm sure, when the customer bought it. It's actually the same style as the sofa that's just behind me here. I'll just try and remove the cover off, you get my idea. So this is the same style. See the shape of the arm here, shape of the arm there, except for this one's got a hard edge in the seat, and it's got a camelback style back on it. This has got a straight back, this one's got like a double hump in it. So anyway, good quality sofa, definitely worth recovering. And here's the fabric the customer's chosen. So it's a green velvet, lovely velvet. If you don't like something that leaves fingerprints or has a brush on it, velvet's probably not for you. But there you have it. So I need to get on with the cushions, get them cut, and then we should be able to get into the upholstery. You can join me for the upholstery. I shan't bore you with the cutting of the cushions, and so I'll crack on and we'll be back soon. Right, so it's stripped. I've cut all the fabrics for this, so that's 2 inside arms. The inside back has been cut and sewn. The seat has been cut and sewn. The outside back has been cut and sewn, and the outside arms have been cut and sewn, so they're all ready to go on. The cushions are done, they're bagged up and ready to go to the machinist. Hopefully she'll be able to do them relatively quickly, because the cushion fills have turned up unexpectedly early, so that's great. So we should be able to get this sofa back to the customer relatively quickly. So let's start upholstering it. It's a bit of a weird order to do it because of the way that the seat is done. The inside arms here and the seat here all get stapled down onto this rail here. You can see my fingers here, all get stapled down, so rather than getting stapled up onto this rail. So I can't finish the inside arm off, but I can get it on, and the same with the seat before I do the inside back. I would normally like to do the arms, then the back, then the seat. But because all the fabrics are being stapled down on this one instead of stapled up onto this rail here, you can see we're having to modify a little bit how we do things. I am going to give the arms certainly a wrap with this 8-ounce Luxe Bond. I don't think I need to do it on the inside back or the seat because they have the cushions on them. So I'm just going to do it for the inside arms. So you can join me whilst we're doing this. I will stop and start it, and no need for me to show you doing both arms, because well, once it's in one arm, you see me do 2 arms in the same job. Okay, so that's the pair of arms on now. That will go a bit tighter when I pull that off down the bottom there, but that's fine. They come out nice. It's a lovely fabric, lovely colour. I think it's going to suit this sofa. So next is going to be the seat. I am going to put a bit of Dacron on this. The reason being that when I strip the old seat out, the manufacturers have put a lot of Dacron or loose Dacron fibre, polyester fibre, up this end of the seat on both ends. So I'm gonna Lux Bond the seat, just the front edge underneath the green fabric, just so it gives that a little bit of additional padding here, and it gives me something to stuff the wadding if I need to behind. I shouldn't have to, because I've altered their cover or made my template a little bit different to theirs. It's not quite as long, so it should fit better than the original seat. So let's get some Lux Bond on here, just to realistically. But this seat. So this seat, this is a sprung edge. So this is the cover for it. Sprung edge. That edge is bouncy. Springs it. So the seat has to be cut and sewn up. We're not stapling it to any rail, or just the bottom rail. Hopefully this should fit nice. I did modify the manufacturer's seat a little bit. Just to get a better fitment on the ends here. So before a single cut is even made, I'm tucking the seat into position and checking it all before I make a single cut in this seat. I don't want to get this wrong, so we'll check fitting it as I can get up here. Roll the edge of the piping so the salvage is going up. That makes the piping point upwards. Gives us a nice edge. That's lovely. Deals with that. So I do the cuts this side, then the side. So we're just cutting to go around this piece of timber where my arm is here. This part of the seat through that arm rail, stapling it down. You'll see better when I get to do the other side. And what I'll do is I'll just get this staple in here because it's positioning it, and I'll do the same. This end you'll be able to see what I'm on about. So this rail here, I've got to cut the fabric to come round this rail here. So I'm putting my hand down here and feeling where that rail is, and that's where I'm going to aim with my cut. We want to cut enough so it releases the fabric, but not too much that you can theoretically could pull it back and see the cut. So like I said earlier, you need to get cuts in the right place. So here comes seat through, and this seat coming round this arm here. Let's turn that way. So seat coming round this arm here. You can see that. So with that pull, so I'm pulling it from that end. Circle that down. That's really nice. Right, so we've got this here now in this corner. So this will all have to be pulled down to come in line with this. So this is an equal distance here. So this corner is going to be, first of all we put one because that's going to govern the height of the front of the rest of this seat. So I changed this end on the seat because I could see the issue that they had, the original manufacturer here, and the reason why somebody had stuffed a lot of DAC on or loose fibre up there. So I've adjusted my seat to accommodate it better. Just about to pull that down. Not having to stuff loads of additional fibre up there, because quite frankly it fits better. So yes, that's better than the original was. Just go to the opposite end, do the same with this end. Get my handy dandy adjustable So that's the long and short of the seat going in. It's just that's the worst bit, and it's only got a few staples in, but the seat is in. The rest of it is now just finishing off in filling. So I'll just finish that end and I'll get the seat done, and we'll be back to you when we're doing the inside back. Okay, thanks. Okay, so seats in. Now it's time to get the back in. We've got the back cut. I'm just going to get that. Back's got a join through the centre here. So here we have the back. It's straightforward enough, this is. We've got a piece of what I call fly along the bottom of this fabric. That's just a fabric remnant or such. It's just so we're not using so much of the customers. If we can save sort of 6 or 7 inches on each piece that we cut by putting some fly along the bottom of it, we save a few metres by the end of it. So anyway, this has got a join in it, so that's going to be down the centre. Again, I'm going to open the salvage up on the join so it lays flat, so we don't have a lump on one side or the other. And place that in the middle, making sure that I've got enough to go over the top. We don't really need to put any additional fibre or polyester on the inside back, unlike with the seat, because the seat had some fitment issues with from the original template, but I addressed that anyway. But with the back, certainly don't need to, with the back cushions going on it. It's just a bit unnecessary, I think, at this point. So let's get this inside back in. That will be the last I'll be doing on this today. So I'll make this cut here on this arm. Hopefully you can see I just around a bit. There you go. So I've got to make the cut and the top of the arm. Didn't want to do that till the bottom and everything else is stapled off. I can do it now. Just give the fabric a pull here. Staples hold it in place, and now we can make a cut for the arm. stapled off. Just staple off the canvas. Ease the fabric up and over. You don't want it to be loose. So I'm stapling this fabric in the top nail, but I'm stapling it as far down this top nail as I can, because we've got to put an outside back on this slide. And if I staple it at the top, it's going to be harder to hold it. Easing the fabric over. Just in my hand. Cut a little bit of the fabric out of the corner here. So we don't want big lumps in there. Go to the other end of the sofa. So, same again, pulling the fabric up from the bottom up this line here, and I'm also pulling it in this direction to get some tension here as well. Staple in there. Make a cut down the arm. Just come around to it, try and keep that warm. Now I'm making the cut to give me as much fabric over the top of this arm, because we don't want to see the cuts. Tuck that through there. Now we can start cutting away. So now I can cut this bit off. Plenty here, it's better to have more than not enough. Fold it, put it round onto the back. Staple it, giving us as much scope for the outside back as I can. This is no directions to pull fabrics. With fabrics, you do pull, but it's laying them on initially into the right place, and then you're pulling them is just to get a little bit of tension in them. You're not going to pull them to straighten a stripe out or something like that. That needs to be straight from the start. If it's leather's generally not being patterned. Leather has stretch in it, and you need to pull the leather really tight as you can, because of the fact that it stretches, and it will stretch the very first time it's satin. So do it as tight as you can. This is more about keeping things uniform and straight and bumpy. So that is pretty much the inside done now. So the outsides just consist of an outside back and the two outside arms. Just got to staple that inside back off here and the inside arms before I forget. And canvas. So yeah, like I say, the outsides on this sofa now. So outside back, outside arms. They're relatively straightforward, but I'm sure you would probably say, well, you made the rest of it look quite straightforward. Experience. Been doing this a long time now. I'm sure other people will do things in the same way. But so long as they ended up with the same results, quality, I feel that I do. I'd be happy with that. So, there you have it. Pretty much most of the sofa, we've got the outside arms to do and the outside back, so I'll come back to you shortly when I'm doing them. In the meantime, I've got to go and walk the dog. Right, so we're back with this. We've just got the outside arms, outside back to do. I'm going to try and do this as quickly as possible because battery on my microphone's about to die. So, excuse me. I've already canvassed and lux bound the outside arm. The outside arm is here, the piping is already stitched on. We're going to staple this from the face side with coloured staples right in the joint of the piping, you can see here. So you won't see it if it's done properly. I'll try not to come back to you the entire time, but you'll have to bear with me. Right, so I'm just positioning this now, making sure the welt is turned in. I'm going to put the staple in the front corner to start with. Staples aren't quite long enough, because you have to bear in mind we've got a lot of layers of fabric there. So I'm going to use some longer staples. Back in the day, originally these outsides would have all been hand sewn on, slip stitched round, and obviously nowadays customers, or a lot of customers, don't really want to pay for the time to do that, because it is time consuming. So let's have a look and see how we're doing. Okay, I'm happy with that. So we'll get more staples in the top, in the front corner. Pull that towards the back, following the shape, contour of the arm. So that's that into position. Now I've just got to staple it by putting the nozzle of the gun into this stitch line here and simply pulling it together and follow that round. As long as I take my time and make sure none of them are seen. You won't see the staples. colours match or not. So before this battery runs out, just show you the bottom edge. We need to make a cut around this leg at the back here. So again, with cuts you start from the centre to give yourself as much fabric as you can. Simply fold and follow the line of the leg. Okay, so I just need to pull that tight and we're good to go. I'll come back to you once I've got the other outside arm on when I'm doing the back, because my battery's about to die, so I'll just put that on charge in the meantime. So we'll be back shortly. Right, so this battery charged up, so we should be good to finish this off now. So outside back time. The outside back has been cut and sewn. It needs a join in it. So we've got the join from the inside back, so we can copy or use that as our starting point. The outside back didn't have any canvas on it, it just had some foam around the edges, so we're going to do, or I'm going to do the same as they had done. So to start off with the top, we're going to make sure that we've got the stitch lines for the inside back and the outside back matching up now. Just gently pull the fabric to both ends. Along the top edge, gives us a nice edge. So now we're just going to put some cardboard through these centres on the bottom rail. On the closing ends here, we're going to use this metal strip that you've seen me use plenty of times here. You'll see the process with that when I get to that point shortly. Still cold in here. A bit warmer than it was yesterday, I have to admit, but still cold. Keep moving. Get on with the job. Put your gas on. Costs a fortune now. I'm sure you can all sympathise with that, the gas prices. Not cold enough for me to let and put the gas on this morning. So this piece of foam and just putting it on so it folds over the bottom edge or bottom rail here to give us a nice edge. And pull the fabric down. Not going to be seen, to be honest. It's going up against the wall as in most sofas. Will seem to. That many of my customers have their sofas placed in a room where you can walk around. Right, so that's there. I haven't put any foam onto the ends. That I'm going to use the back tacking strip because I don't want it to foul or interfere with that back tacking strip at this moment in time. I will put a bit of Lux Bond along there. So I've got a mark on the bottom edge of this frame here for the centre, so I'm making sure that the stitch line is vertical and matching these marks there. And I'm pulling in a sort of diagonal line here. This is a beautiful fabric, nice to work with. I'm liking the colour on this particular piece of furniture. It suits it really nicely. You may think that's why there's millions of designs out there. It's, if you want to know, it's from Warwick Fabrics. It's their Manhattan. And this particular colour is the proposal, I believe. So now I'm infilling between points. Nice and tight. I'll show you doing this end here with the back tacking strip. And a bit of Lux Bond go along that edge once the back tacking strip's on. So I need to shorten this back tacking strip. It quite simply goes along this edge here. This. Give it a good squeeze with my almost pliers to create a crease where I can bend it backwards and forwards and it will snap off. Cut the plastic sleeve to suit. Try and do this without my back to you. So this particular back tacking strip folds back on itself. So I'm using the edge of the frame as my guide for the strip and then just simply push the prongs through the fabric. It's a bit awkward trying to do it at this angle, but I want you to see what's going on best I can. There are other back tacking strips, a way of closing the ends in. You could slip stitch it. There are different versions of back tacking strip. There's the ones that I think are more suited for shaped edges rather than straight edges like this. So trim off some of this excess. I'm going to just fold this back a little bit, lux bomb along this edge here. Fold back tacking strip back on itself. Make sure the lux bomb's tucked in. So I'm tempting to tap this down on the prongs. We want them to go straight into the frame, otherwise they will bend. And you'll find that they haven't actually done a good job. Right, so now get to this bottom edge, cut any bulk out of the way. Need to make a cut to fold around the leg. The bottom edge of this leg where it's just folded down, I will put a gimp in. Just gimp is a coloured small nail. I will put gimp in there just to stop it from potentially getting lifted up. Tap this in. There we go, and that's exactly what I didn't want to happen. Extra prongs are snapped off there, or one of them has. Let's see if I can salvage that. Bend the prong back on itself. had them snap off before. That's really unusual. It is a hardwood frame, but there you go. No. Okay, that's disappointing. That particular length of back tacking strip there has come away, broken. So we'll have to try and lift this back up without damaging the fabric. We'll replace the whole strip. There you go. I'll show you what's happened. Can you see that there? A couple of the teeth are broken off there. And that comes back to me saying you need to make sure you're trying to hammer them in straight, otherwise they bend. So we'll do that again. And this time I'm not sure it looks right. Sure the last one's out of the way. I think the issue is that it is a hardwood frame. And unless you get those teeth get knocked in square, but breaking off, that's a new one. Bending, had that happen, but the teeth breaking off, that's a new one. So maybe that strip had a manufacturing fault. So same process again. Line it up with the edge of the rail. Push the teeth through fabric. Has this saved me any time over slip stitching? I'm afraid so. Still takes longer to slip stitch it, even though I'm having to do this one again. Well, for me anyway, slip stitch it. I'm sure there's some seamstresses out there that would have said they'd have slip stitched it in the time that's taken me to do this. Make sure that the fabric is tucked out of the way. Don't want to create any unnecessary lumps and bumps. Right. doesn't do it this time because of the wood. I have got an alternative tacking strip, which I'll stay warm. I know I'm not going to have issues with that, but that seems to have gone on okay this time. Perhaps I was just hadn't got it square enough, or it was a faulty strip. Right, find some gimp nails. I've got some dark green ones here. I'll show you what it is. Gimp nails. They're about 10mm, fine wire, light tacks, but painted. So hopefully you can see that there. So we'll fold this cotton edge over and put a gimp nail in there, just to make sure it's not going to come up later down the line. However much I like my customers, I only want to hear from them again when they want something else doing. I want them to come back to me. So, have my back to you then. But just simply put a little colour coded gimp in there. That's not going to come out. Finish that bottom off. There we have one in, so we take that down there. We'll need that shortly. Just give this a tap. Just make sure it's nice and uniform. Brush the velvet, lift the pile back up again. It's been tapped down, and that's that end done. So I'll do the other end and turn the sofa upside down to put the bottom on it, and I'll come back to you when the sofa is got its feet screwed back in and on the floor. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you the finished sofa because the cushion covers aren't cut, but I will try and get a picture of the sofa in the customer's house and add it onto the end of this video. So I'll be back shortly showing you it on its feet. There you have it. Lovely sofa. This is the fabric it was in. And now I think it looks a lot nicer. Dare I say, a lot more contemporary in that green velvet. So there you go. One Duresta sofa. Duresta Landsdown. The only reason I know it's a Landsdown is because I found a label underneath it, but Google them, they're probably still available. It's in the Warwick Manhattan clover fabric. I will try and tag a picture of the sofa in the customer's property once the cushions are back. It looks smashing. We've got foam and feather cushions going in there, so very plush. So as always, these videos just show you what's going on in the workshop here at Hammond's Upholstery. They're not necessarily meant to be instructional, but if you do pick up some hints and tips of the trade, and it helps you along your learning experience. I've been doing this 35 plus years, so if you have a go yourself, don't expect to do it so quickly. I hope you enjoy them anyway. I'll keep putting the posts out there. As always, appreciate, and it's always nice to hear from you in the comments.